Everybody. This is gonna be a small little rant, I guess, kind of a rant, almost more of just general news. For those of you who don't already know, it's been the case since probably Commander Legends. I think the Commander Legends collector booster boxes. Um, and then it turned into Time Spiral, and then it turned into pretty much anything they want. Um, for those of you who don't know, I am talking about Magic the Gathering. Um, there's been a bit of a controversy with Magic and Wizards of the Coast because what they're essentially doing is cutting out LGSs, local game stores, from product. Normally, Wizards would, make contracts with local game stores, and then they'd buy product from Wizards at their cost, and then they would sell that product at secondary market value to players, through their stores, kind of helping bring a nice little community to everything. But unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case much more. They are still giving product to LGSs, but not in the amount in which they could make a general main income source off of. There are a lot of LGSs who their main focus is Magic, and Magic gets them a lot of their player base, a lot of people to come in and buy their cards and buy the singles. Some people even go in and buy boxes from the LGSs because we want to support the LGS. But now most LGSs are not seeing a huge spike in product. A lot of people are just going straight to Amazon to buy this product instead. Wizards of the Coast is essentially what they'll do is they'll ship out a little bit to an LGS just to kind of like make them a little happy, and then everything else is going to Amazon for direct fulfillment. Which you know, yeah, like I'm still happy I can get cards, right? But not I don't like that I can't support an LGS anymore. I mean, like I could even think about back in my Yu-Gi-Oh days, right? Back in my Yu-Gi-Oh days, they were a little different, but I mean, you buy a box from an LGS, you get there, you hang out with all your friends, you crack open a box, you're having a fun time talking with everyone, like, you're hyped over certain events, and it's something special, right? To have these places, but the fact that like Wizards is just straight up like, "Hey, we don't want you to have this product. We'd rather sell it directly through Amazon and make a higher profit margin, right? Than care enough about our community's like second home, pretty much." And I understand, right? Like, from a business perspective, it makes sense as to why they'd go about doing something like that. But, that just goes to show that that's what they care about is the business, right? It's not about the player base and what they want for the players and what they're doing for the players. They removed several pro leagues from the system. They say they're going to focus more on players and players and special individual tournaments, but I think at the end of the day, we know what Wizards wants, and it's to make money, you know? And obviously, this is just my opinion. Everything I say in here is my opinion, and it's just a rant from what I've heard over the past several months. And it's sad to see it, right? It's sad to see that such a company that has dedicated themselves to a game that has been so prominent in our lives, um, to kind of give up, but then tell you into your face that they're not giving up on you. Um, and that's just kind of unfortunate. Um, and now this has kind of been the case for, like I said, for a little while now, several months. And, do I think Magic is going to die because of it? No, right? You still have Arena where you don't have to pay any money. You can still, they're not selling cards, uh, you know, from older sets unless it's like a remastered thing. They're not going to touch the revised list or the reserved list. Sorry, not the revised list. Um, I don't know. It's just not. This is just coming from me, just a player and a collector. But I would genuinely hate to see so many LGSs get shut down because they can't make the profit that they were originally because Wizards of the Coast is no longer going to give them product. Um, that's what I'm assuming is going to happen. I'm assuming that this is just kind of a, dipping your toes in the water kind of process, but people are buying it through Amazon. And I think one of the worst things about it all is that you see people buying this stuff through Amazon, but I see so many shady things happen too. So many shady things where you have people buying boxes from Wizards, cracking the packs, taking all the good stuff out of it, resealing the packs, or even putting in packs from a completely different set that don't cost as much. Like opening a collector booster box and then putting draft boosters in it. Sealing it back up, and then claiming that it's defective. Having it get sent back to Amazon. And Amazon doesn't care, right? They say it's defective. What do? They'll destroy it. They'll destroy it or they'll repackage it, right? Because it all seems to be in pretty good condition. They'll repackage it and then they'll sell it again in the hopes that somebody else buys it. What is that? Right? What kind of business model is that? Like, people are going to be able to take advantage of that system all day, every day. And there's going to be no stopping that. There's going to be no stopping that from happening. It's going to become complete chaos. And yeah, like, if an LGS is really shady, they could do the same thing. But you have more like reputation as a business owner when you do something like that. You when you sell somebody a box from an LGS, it is, I mean, you're looking at a pretty like high percentage chance that it's been sealed and it is sealed from the box because why would they lose out on that opportunity, right? I think at the end of the day it's just an unfortunate situation, and I wish there was a way for me to know how this was all going to end up because without an LGS, right, to get people together, um, hold your friends close because you might be remote dueling or you might be going to you might be going to your friend's house often or your family's house often to go and play there instead of playing at an LGS. And I hope that these LGSs can find something else, right? Maybe like Flesh and Blood. Yu-Gi-Oh's market is pretty good, I think, but there's a lot of whales in Yu-Gi-Oh. So you'd have to kind of have that product already to start. Not only that, but also a amount of people who'd want to play Yu-Gi-Oh to get the crowd in. There's just there's just a lot that could go wrong, and like I think it's a shame for a company who claims to care so much about their players and their community to quite literally cut their community out of the picture for an extra $100 a box. Like, Wizards wasn't going into debt, as far as I know. Hasbro wasn't going into debt, as far as I know. It's all about paying who they want to pay. And at the end of the day, we're going to buy the product, right? Because we want the cards, because we want to have access to that. So we'll buy the product and we'll crack it open. And content creators will crack open the boxes. Like, I'll crack open boxes because why not? Why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I crack open a box? I like doing that. I like doing that for you guys, right? And at that point, it's starting more collections and getting stuff for your decks and flipping singles online and doing all that stuff. Like, those are all opportunities that we can take. But they've essentially killed the LGSs and then have gone, if you want to sell your cards online, you can do that. But there's not going to be a hub for it anymore, because we're not just going to give these boxes to people. So instead of making, 3,000 LGSs a nice hub and community, instead they're making every person on the market, every person who plays and opens Magic product, a seller. And I don't think they get any of that profit. They don't, as far as I'm concerned. But the reason I enjoyed going to a card shop on a Friday is because it's the end of the week, right? I worked hard all week, and now I just get to hang out and relax and play some cards with some friends, trade some stuff, right? Talk about the new cards, talk about old cards, get into that. But you can't even do that anymore. I mean, you can, right, with the right people, but like the way this is going, I don't see a future in that. Obviously, I don't think the card game is going to die. I think the only way the card game will die is if quite literally everyone just understands these shady tactics and goes, oh yeah, but like we can get our boxes for cheaper. Like, if everybody comes together and understands these shady tactics and goes, yeah, we don't want to support a company who does that to its community, then that would be the downfall of Magic. But otherwise, people have been playing Magic for a long time. People are fist deep in Commander, fist deep in Vintage, fist deep in Modern, that like they can't, like they don't want to give that up, right? They could sell their cards, but like at what cost, I guess. So, yeah. I don't know. This is my little rant on it, I guess. Hopefully it's not too long. But I genuinely enjoy this game, and I haven't been playing Magic for nearly as long as most people I know who have been playing Magic for much longer, well into over a decade. They've been playing Magic. But that doesn't mean that I don't see a shady business practice when I see one. Uh, like you see it in many different places. But as long as they keep feeding us product that looks cool, helps with formats, has a fun way to draft, then we'll be content. But I don't, unless there comes a point where we all get to gather together in a virtual hub of sorts and all get to play together. That way the LGS doesn't have to rent out space, but at that point, what are they doing, right? Why are they even running the business? It's just silly, right? I don't like to see a company fall because of that. So yeah. That's kind of my 2 cents on the matter. I'm sure there's some stuff I didn't go over in regards to this, but generally just know that the TLDR is that Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro are now taking their shipments to Amazon. Um, and I imagine it to be very soon that most of the shipments will stop going to LGSs and they will start going to Amazon only. And then at that point, you're buying all your packs and boxes online. You're never going to an LGS to go buy them ever again. You'll probably be able to get them at a Walmart still or a Target, but those are already overpriced as it is because blisters are overpriced. Just, the game's not going anywhere, but it's just sad to see. All right. Nerd out.